What if I told you that one of the most powerful tools for managing stress, improving your mental health, and building resilience costs nothing, takes just minutes a day, and has been practiced by everyone from ancient philosophers to modern prisoners fighting for freedom? That tool is gratitude. But not the kind of gratitude you might be thinking of. Not just saying thank you or feeling warm and fuzzy when something good happens. I'm talking about a deliberate, structured practice that literally rewires your brain and calms your nervous system. Today, we're going to explore how gratitude was practiced in the most unlikely places. A prison cell on Robben Island and the journals of Roman emperors. And then we'll look at the cutting-edge neuroscience that proves these ancient practices actually work. Picture this, a tiny cell, 8 feet by 7 feet, a thin mat on the floor, a bucket for a toilet, no bed, no sunlight. This was Nelson Mandela's home for 18 of his 27 years in prison. Every day, he was forced to do hard labor in a limestone quarry. The guards were often cruel. His family could only visit once every 6 months. Letters were heavily censored. By any measure, this was a place designed to break the human spirit. And yet Mandela developed what we might call a micro-gratitude practice. Each day, he would find something small to be grateful for. It might have been a tiny thing, the way sunlight fell across the corner of his cell, a kind word from a fellow prisoner, a memory of his children, the taste of his meager breakfast, the strength in his own body to complete another day of labor. These weren't grand gestures of thankfulness. They were small, intentional moments of noticing what was still good, still beautiful, still worth acknowledging, even in hell. This practice did something profound. It kept his mind from being consumed by bitterness, rage, and despair. It gave him agency in a place designed to strip it away. He couldn't control his captors, his cell, or his release date, but he could control where he directed his attention. As Mandela later reflected, as I walked out the door toward the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison. Gratitude was his key. Not to the physical cell, but to the mental and emotional one. And here's what's remarkable. Modern neuroscience now shows us that what Mandela was doing wasn't just philosophically wise, it was biologically protective. Fast forward, or actually rewind, to ancient Rome around 170 AD. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, commander of armies, one of the most powerful men on earth, sat in his military tent at night and wrote in his journal. But he wasn't writing about conquests or strategy. He was writing thank you notes. He thanked fate. He thanked his teachers, even the ones who were difficult. He thanked hardship for making him stronger. He even thanked his enemies for teaching him patience and resilience. This was a Stoic practice. The Stoics believed that gratitude wasn't just a response to good fortune. It was a lens through which you could see all of life, even suffering, as a gift or a lesson. But they went even further with something called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Seneca practiced this regularly. He would sit quietly and imagine losing the things he valued most: his wealth, his health, his loved ones, his freedom. This wasn't pessimism or catastrophizing, it was pre-gratitude. By imagining loss, he could truly appreciate what was still there. He could see his life not as something owed to him, but as something borrowed, temporary, precious. When you rehearse loss, presence becomes sacred. Think about it. When was the last time you really appreciated your morning coffee? Your bed? Your ability to walk? We take these things for granted until we can't have them anymore. The Stoics understood this deeply. They practiced gratitude by imagining absence, and this practice too is backed by modern science. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. When researchers started studying gratitude, not just as a feeling, but as a daily practice, they discovered something incredible. Gratitude doesn't just make you feel good, it changes your biology. First, gratitude reduces stress hormones. A landmark study by Emmons and McCullough in 2003 found that people who practiced daily gratitude had significantly lower levels of cortisol, the hormone tied to stress, anxiety, and overwhelm. Lower cortisol means less chronic stress, better sleep, and a calmer baseline. Second, gratitude strengthens the brain's regulation centers. Keeney and colleagues in 2016 used fMRI imaging to watch what happens in the brain during gratitude practices. They found increased activation in the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for emotional regulation, decision-making, and perspective-taking. In other words, gratitude literally strengthens the part of your brain that helps you stay calm, think clearly, and make better choices under pressure. Third, gratitude supports a calmer nervous system. A study by Kemper and colleagues in 2015 showed that gratitude practices increase something called heart rate variability, or HRV. HRV is one of the strongest indicators of resilience and your body's ability to shift out of fight or flight mode and into rest and digest. High HRV means you recover faster from stress. You're less reactive, you're more adaptable, and gratitude directly improves it. Fourth, gratitude widens your field of vision. Barbara Fredrickson's research in 2001 showed that positive emotions, especially gratitude, expand your cognitive field. When you're stressed, your vision literally narrows. You can only see the threat, but gratitude opens you back up, allowing you to see more options, think more creatively, and respond more flexibly. Fifth, gratitude reduces rumination and fear responses. A study by Fox and colleagues in 2015 found that practicing gratitude reduces activity in the amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for the fight, flight, or freeze response. So let's recap. Gratitude lowers cortisol. It strengthens your brain's emotional regulation centers. It calms your nervous system. It expands your thinking. It quiets your fear response. This isn't pseudoscience. This is hard neuroscience showing us that gratitude is a biological intervention. So what do we do with all of this? Nelson Mandela, in a prison cell, found something small to be grateful for each day, and it kept his spirit alive. Marcus Aurelius and Seneca practiced gratitude not just for what they had, but for what they might lose, and it deepened their appreciation for life. And modern science confirms what these great minds intuited. Gratitude is medicine. It's not just a nice idea, it's a practice that rewires your brain, regulates your emotions, and calms your body. You don't need a perfect life to practice gratitude. You don't need ideal circumstances. You just need a few minutes and the willingness to notice. What's one small thing you're grateful for today? Write it down, say it out loud, let it register in your body. That simple act is one of the most powerful things you can do for your mental and physical health. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it. And remember, even in the hardest times, there is always something worth noticing. If this resonates with you and you want to go deeper and breaking free of your conditioned patterns, beliefs, and behaviors, join the Change Mindset community. It's for the professionals brave enough to question the old playbook. The Change Mindset community isn't for everyone. It is for those who feel the shift and know they need to adapt before disruption decides for them. Inside the community, we don't just talk about change, we train for it. Neuroscience-backed tools and real-world leadership coaching. This is for people serious about reinvention, not just inspiration. Subscribe to this channel for powerful insights on navigating uncertainty, leading yourself with clarity, and building a mindset built for change. Then visit www.changemindset.co and take our free Change Mindset quiz, 15 self-reflective questions to see if you are ready. Remember, change waits for no one.